What's happening, my people? What's going on? Let me get myself comfortable. Let's not rush. Right? So, what's happening? What is going on? Here we go, guys. Are we training? What are we doing? Let me drink some water. Sorry, for a second I thought I burned my chicken, man. But I'm gonna have a nice chicken after this with some potatoes. And I am very, very much looking forward to that. And I'm also very much looking forward to my haircut. Believe it or not, I don't have time. But I'm nice and tanned. Sun came out. It's beautiful outside. You wouldn't believe it. We had 21 degrees today. It was awesome. I was walking around in t-shirts. It was amazing. Look at the power of the sun, man. Sun is something special, man. The sun. You see birds flying around and all these bees. Like, where all these bees, yeah, where they come from? Like, from none of them around to millions, you know. I live in this natural reserve, so yeah, like one day there's nothing flying around, and the next day there are a million different type of flies flying around through flowers, like bees, and I don't know the names, but in big one, small one, and you're like, where were you? Like, where do you come from? How could you be so many all of a sudden like this? Where were you hiding? Do you know what I mean? Because it's crazy. So it's unexplainable, but it's beautiful. I love the smell of spring. Please, guys, like and subscribe. We're gonna be talking about training. I'm Vince Persone. I am a personal trainer with some years of experience. I train mainly for endurance, long distance events like Ironman, ultra marathons, and crazy stuff like that. And now I decided to put my focus into growing, freaking put muscles on. Do you know what I mean? Because I've never done it. You know, I always trained to be lean and fast and agile. You know, my goal was always that to stay as lean as possible. And now I changed my direction because, you know, yeah, I feel like it's time for me to try something new. And I am enjoying the eating, I am enjoying the training. As a fact, I'm gonna share with you the session I had today. And then I want to share with you because I find my little diary from 2019 where I used to write down all my training, you see, from 2019. So I want to share with you also the type of things that I used to do because in 2019 I did a couple of good competitions, around a couple of ultra marathons that year, and I completed my best Ironman with 10 hours and 42 minutes, I believe. That's my best Ironman. No, what is this? I lost. With you in a second. Here you go. Again, like and subscribe. I'm gonna share with you what I did today, okay? And after today, I'm gonna take 3 days off, okay? So I'm looking to train every 3 to 4 days, depending on how I feel. I am 40 years of age. I have loads of miles, okay? So I have now to be extremely cautious, extremely careful to preserve longevity, okay? Because all that being super cool, running super distances, you pay the price later on, sooner rather than later, right? Um, depending. And I discovered that very quickly. I have a couple of injuries that I live with and I work with, okay? And and because of that, I chose this sort of method or style, I'd rather say, uh, where I train every 3 to 4 days, and I go very intense, very high intensity workout, 30 minutes, and that's me done and completely destroyed. Uh, I don't necessarily use big weights. I actually, let me break it down to you. Today I did. Today I started off with the dips, which you have two parallel bars. You lower yourself with a little bit of angle to allow the stretch of the pec, right? So the dips are basically the squat of the upper body, right? So it's it's crucial, right, that you get good at dips, because dips are arguably the best shoulders exercise, the best chest exercise, you know, the best upper back exercise, because it's such a compound exercise for the upper body that is awesome. But in the very same way as the squat and deadlift, it has to be is trying to put me off with these silly out of nowhere comments. Like, you have to be extremely careful because of the risk of injuries with squats and deadlift, right? You have to be extremely careful with the dips, yes? So you don't go for high reps with the dips. You stay on the 5 to 7. This is what Mike Mensa teaches, by the way, which is one of the greatest minds of bodybuilding. I'm not making anything up. I'm a student of the game. I'm sharing what I'm studying. I'm not making nothing up. I'm studying people from the 80s, brother. You know, from the 60s. I'm going back deep, brother. I'm a student, man. Yeah, man. I'm passionate about this. I studied all the bodybuilders, all the, not all the bodybuilders, because they would be too many. But perhaps I study and regularly the Mr. Olympia winners, right? Because I like the competition. I'm a fan since I was a kid, and I try to learn how they trained and everything, and get the best out of everything, of everybody. Tried one style and then trying the other style, you know. And so yeah, dips, as Mark Menzer teaches, 3 to 5 reps maximum. If with your body weight you can do more, add some weights, okay, but stay in the low reps range, because as a motion is very delicate for the shoulder. The risk of injuries are high because it's an intense exercise. Anything that is intense is dangerous. That's why you want to do it. You want to do the most in as little as possible. As crazy as it sounds, you got to find the right balance in between. The best I can do in as little as possible, because the more I expose my body to stress, the more I risk of injuring it, right? So in my case, my half an hour, 40 minutes, high intense intensity. I get a good pump in. I feed myself. For 2-3 days, I'm nice and I feel nice and pumped and strong, and by the fourth day, I am looking forward to my next session, and I just destroy it. I feel very strong, and that is it. So today I started with the dips, and I'm not ashamed of the fact that I can only do 3 perfect reps of the dips. Now the thing with me is this, that obviously being a lower body athlete, really, most of my amateur athletic career, if you can call it a career, um, because I was an Ironman, I was an ultra runner, so my focus was on, and I'm gonna read one of my old school sessions, and I was impressed with myself. I completely forgot about this. So my lower body is kind of heavy, right? There is a kind of unbalance between my lower body and my upper body. So now I'm trying to make it up, yeah? So therefore, that's my explanation for, because I got stronger big legs, it comes without saying, I would imagine. So I pull just 3 reps, and I'm happy with what I have. Then little rest, just enough to lower my heart rate, to regain control of my breathing. And then I went straight into the incline press with the 40 kg, right? The barbell, and I pulled 14 reps, right? And I don't do fast repping. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in going through the motion. What you want to avoid in training is going through the motion. There is where you get injured, where your brain goes somewhere else, because you're going through the motion. You want to stay in the motion. So to me, the phases of motion, of the movement, are extremely important. And there always going to be a positive phase, a negative phase, and an isometric phase, right? A moment of where you don't move, yeah? Where perhaps the range of motion end, okay? So in the case of a chest press, right, where I'm pushing, my positive will be me pushing the bar away from me, right? My pause could be on the top, right? And that's really good. I slow my negative phase. I like to feel my negative phase. I get to full stretch in slow motion. Not in slow motion, but controlled. It's not a slow motion at all. It's controlled, right? It's nothing even, right? When I get full stretch of my pec, then I get a little pause there. I breathe out. I allow blood to go in there. Okay? What you want to do is you want to breathe in on the negative phase of any exercise, and you want to breathe out on the positive phase, right? So that makes my 14 reps much, in terms of time under tension for the muscle, way longer than somebody that does maybe 20 reps but going through the motion, like rah, rah, rah. Okay, that it has its benefits, but it's not the best for growth, right? So to me, it's all about controlling the muscle, getting a good brain-muscle connection, so that way you understand the angle in which you engage your pec better, because we are not all the same at all. The length of limbs are different, right? So you have to find your angle to get the stretch. So it's very personal. So you have to build that muscle-brain connection. And once you get that, everything is much, much easier, and all your training becomes more productive. So yeah, I did incline press 40 kg, 14 reps. I was really impressed with it because I could do 12 on my previous session. Bench press, same weight, so flat, 14 reps again, coincidence. Then I went on to do, and my arms, and again, I don't rest that much in between things. The reason is I want to stress my body, but I also want to engage a little bit of endurance, because I'm a strong believer, right, that for strength to be expressed at its best, it has to be combined with a little bit of endurance, because you have to be capable of expressing it in some period of time. You can't, So that's why I like to, I'm not one of them guys that time 2 minutes, for instance. I don't do that. I will allow my breathing to go back to kind of normal, and it's perceived because I don't wear anything like heart rate monitors and stuff like that. I don't wear anything like that. I just allow my breathing to go down. I just allow myself to calm down myself, regain control of myself. And when I'm, probably after the incline press and the flat bench and the bench press, probably it took me 2 minutes to lower my heart rate naturally. Do you know what I mean? But I'm a strong. I like I said, I like to, the very same way I want to create that connection between brain and muscle. So therefore, I'm capable of engaging them at will when I train, given the right resistance. I want to do it with my breathing, and yeah. So if it takes me a minute to recover, it takes me a minute. If it takes me 2 minutes, I don't really care. I don't really know. I don't really mind. Okay? I'm there to, like I said, I want to be there for the shortest period of time. I want it to be as intense as possible, and I want to be out. Right? Then I can tell it was quite fatigued, because I'm telling you, those 3 reps of dips are very toxic for me. Like they drain me of. You say, Vin, that's bad. It is. What want me to say? I'm working on it. So I was really, really, really fatigued at this point. So I went to the pull-up bars, and I like it lately to do nice and wide, right? Because I want width, right? I want width. So I'll go, and it might be subjective, but usually it is for everyone. The wider you go, the harder it is. Yeah. So I managed just 2 reps on that. Then on a superset fashion, I went to the chin-ups. I went to the 2 reps again, and one more time. I don't go through the motion. I don't. If I went to the bar, then I just up and down, up and down. I can do 10. But what I want is, I want to push blood intentionally in a specific area of my body, right? And that to happen, it needs time, right? It can be, obviously, you pumping like that, of course. But what I want to do is I want to stretch the muscle in a controlled fashion. So what I do is I go up, right? I stay there, and then I lower myself in a controlled fashion, because the most muscle damage, which is a positive in this case, happen during the negative phase of any exercise. So if you lengthen that negative phase, more damage to the muscle, therefore more adaptation. right? And you push more blood into a specific area, and that allows growth. After that, uh, I did some dumbbell bend over dumbbell flies because I want to do my shoulders as well. Want to do I wanted to do the shoulders as well, so I did those. Then I did some standing dumbbell lateral raises for my deltoids, and that was me for the day. And that it took me about. Hello, my brother. You know, when I was in London, I used to work with a lot of people from Bangladesh, loads of them, loads. So yeah, God bless my brother. I'm from Spain. How about that? So dumbbell, what was I saying? Yeah, and those, because you know what I mean. It's like going into the deltoids, which is a good muscle to work on, and a muscle that really does shape the frame really well. And the muscle is a triangular kind of shaped muscle, and it's got three heads. You got the frontal one, the lateral one, and the back one. Okay? So when you raise your elbow frontally, right, you challenge the front cap of the front head of the deltoids. When you do it sideways, right, you do the lateral. When you do backwards, right, you're challenging the back head, right? So if you want a good development, you have to make sure you hit all three of the deltoids heads. Okay? Let me open the door. Don't worry about that, Ismail. Tell me some Bangladeshi or Bengali traditional dishes, right? Something nice with potato in it, right? Tell me something. Drop it on me. Tell me something. Anyway, the thing with the shoulders is this, that they're very delicate, right? They have tiny muscles that allow stability in the rotatory cuff, right? So if you don't warm up properly, if through rotations, it's not like you don't have to invent the wheels, but you make sure that blood goes in there before you you put some major resistance on the shoulders. Okay, just make sure that. Make sure you maintain a good good range of motion, good rotation motion, and allow rest. Allow rest. Most of the time, there's nothing wrong with the technique of people. There's nothing wrong with nothing they do. They just do it too often, and the shoulder needs rest. Right? Needs time to recover. Okay? It's susceptible to injuries. Right? So yeah, that was me for the day. I feel nice and sore, if I'm honest with you, but I'm very likely going to feel it not super a lot tomorrow, not that much tomorrow, but the day after, right? So today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday is gonna be probably my worst day, where I'll be aching like an animal. By Sunday, I will feel a little bit better. Monday, and then Tuesday I train again. By Tuesday, by Monday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is 4 days. So depends on how I feel. I would either train next Monday or next Tuesday. Basically, I just see if I feel that I don't have any aches and I'm eager to train. I really want to do it, you know? That is, boom, when I attack and I just go at it for half an hour, I get a good workout in. I try to go to failure or as close as possible. And to failure, there's a misconception about failure, right? In an exercise, failure doesn't occur when you are dying. Failure occur when you're not capable of performing the exercise at its perfect form. So as soon as you lose the alignment, as soon as you go to one side more than the other, as soon as any of that happen, boom, that's it, that you're done. You don't have to, and that is where actually injuries happen. You know. So yeah, that was my session. And if I can give you a deltoid workout that it will take you about half an hour just for shoulders, what you do is on a tricep fashion. So you do 3 sets in a row without rest in between. So 3 movements in a row without rest, right? So you start with the lateral dumbbell raises, where is very important the orientation of the elbow. Okay, you have to drive the movement with the elbow. Go with the elbows above the shoulder line, without shrugging. Okay, with a good rotation of the elbow, right? Depending on what you want to do. And then it will get you a very, very good engagement of the lateral head of the deltoids. Straight into little weight, 3 kgs, 5 kgs, 2 kgs, doesn't matter. Then frontal dumbbell raises, same thing. Okay, you want to go above the shoulder line with the elbow, right? Because there is where magic happens without shrugging, right? And then you finish off with a bend over dumbbell flies, where you get the back. And you do this just one time. So you do the first exercise, the second exercise, the third exercise in a row, one time. That is it. You go close to failure in all of them 3 exercises. By the end, your shoulders will be super sore. You allow some rest, right? You choose if you want to give yourself 1 minute, 2 minutes. It's really up to you. Then you go into the dips, because they can never be missed, right? You can't do, in my opinion, that's down to opinion, yeah, an upper body workout without the dips, right? It just don't make sense to me. So dips, and then again to failure. You're probably not going to be able to do too many, but that's good. Make sure you don't compromise technique. And then shoulder presses. 1 set to failure. Right. So shoulder press is not necessarily this, although yeah, is the rotation. This is a shoulder press where my head goes in, my hands are behind my head. Boom. Right? That was a good shoulder press. Right? You do that to failure and you're done. That will take you about 20 to 30 minutes. And then you're good to go. How about that for a deltoid workout? Please, guys, like and subscribe. I like the 3 likes that I got. Send me to 320 subscribers, please. I got 318 as far as last time I checked. 318. If you could send me to 320. 2 subscribers. Gazillion users on YouTube. Come on, man. Seriously. 2 subscribers is nothing. So, I want to break down. I don't want to break down nothing. I want to show you. I want to tell you one of my sessions. One of my sessions from February 2019. Right? Because this is bananas. This can't be real. Right. Let's go at it. Let's go at it. So the 18th of February 2019, I'm doing bodyweight squats, 7 sets, 50 reps. And I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, right? How hard it felt. Then I go bodyweight lunges, 20 reps each leg, 5 sets. Bridge, 30 reps, 5 sets. Single leg jump, 24 reps, 5 sets. Calf raises, 30 reps, 3 sets. Lateral leg raises, 30 reps, each leg, 2 sets. The next day, I go swimming for 1 hour. The 20th, I do upper body workout, so I'm working the back and my back and biceps. Then Thursday, the 21st of February 2019, I do 1 hour. I do 1 hour swim, 30 minutes bike run, 2 hours bike, no rest. These are all back to back. I'm not having days off. The 22nd, I go 1.5. I ride 1.5 hour. 1.5 hour on the bike, and I weigh 61.6 kg. On the 23rd, so all back to back, another 1.5 hour of bike. Sunday the 24th, I rest, thank God. And the 25th, I go again. Without rest, that's mad. Oh, actually, I had Sunday off. Bro, I used to train so much. This is banana. Banana. In this session, I did squat jumps, 30 reps, 8 sets. Single leg jump, 5 sets. I didn't write the how many. This is madness. Anyway, that is some working out, bro. That is some working out. Let me tell you. Was I crazy in my mind? I think I was crazy in my mind, bro. To put myself through all this, that's bananas. Anyway, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? No wonder I got a couple of injuries. But hey, it is what it is. I don't know. It used to give me a lot of pride. You know, now it doesn't give me anything. What do you want me to say? So guys, make sure you eat. I'm gonna go, right? I'm tired. Half an hour in, I think I dropped the knowledge that I had to drop. That's what I feel. Guys, make sure you eat enough. You drink plenty. That's a fact. Let me drink. You keep it active, alright? Keep active. And train. Yeah? God bless. See you at the top. Bye-bye.